welcome back to Sports the NEMO Way, the Cleveland Indians / Guardians episode. I still don't get that right. I say Indians majority of the time. The other day I was talking to somebody and I said Guardians and they're like, I don't know who the Guardians are. Is that a hockey team? And I was like, no, that's what they call the Indians now. So, yeah, I'd say it hasn't exactly caught on, even though they use Tom Hanks in their intro video. Anyway, all five of us are here today, which was nice, and we had to take a couple weeks off to handle some family business. But we're back now, going to record this Indians episode. I don't think I have any more to go over, so let's get started. Drew, who is your number 4 Indians Mount Rushmore?
Jim Thome.
Oh. He's also my number 4.
He's my number 3.
Jim Thome is my number 4.
Sorry.
Oh, man, unanimous beat gone right off the bat.
Yep, I messed it up right away.
I was going to have one there.
Oh, well, he's in the Hall of Fame. He's a 5-time All-Star, Silver Slugger. With the Indians, he had 1,300 hits, 260 doubles, 337 home runs, 930 RBIs. He batted .287 when he was with the Indians. He had a 400 on base percentage, 560 slugging, 980 OPS. For his career, he hit over 600 home runs. He's one of very few people to be able to say they did that in his time. He's probably my newest Indian on my list. Guardian, I guess you could say.
Definitely.
The rest are
Same here.
So, figured to get a newer guy and hit 600 home runs. I know it wasn't all in Cleveland, but over half of them were. So,
yeah,
13 seasons in Cleveland.
So. And he was probably he was one of their best players during their best recent stint when they they made a World Series. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Marlins, I believe, but I mean they were loaded there for a while. I mean they haven't won a World Series since what, the 40s?
Like I thought they got one like 52. No,
it's been a long time.
It's a long time.
So like his teams are the most relevant Indian teams. Him and Kenny Lofton and
that one. Manny.
Yeah, Manny. We're missed. They had a few more.
Sabathia was there. Or was that after that?
I think Sabathia was a little later.
No, Colon was there.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Bartolo Colon was there, and Sandy Alomar. Mm-hmm. Was Vizquel there?
Maybe. I'm trying to think. I think they had another big time offensive player. I think they were loaded. He had Lofton, Thome, Manny came in at some point. I don't know. I can't think. Top man.
They did well. What year did they make the World Series? Does anybody remember? Was that like?
Is it 97?
97.
I'm pretty sure it's 97.
You're right. It's 97. They lost to the Marlins, and that team had Thome and Manny and Sandy Alomar, Omar Vizquel, Brian Giles, Marquise Grissom, David Justice.
Yeah. I mean, really, everybody you named is pretty. They were all pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 4 guys you named off were all pretty legit guys.
Absolutely.
Who else they have besides Cologne?
Yeah, you get pictures here. Hold on. Looks like Oral Hershiser was there.
Oh.
Jarrett Wright, Charles Nagy. Yeah, I'm not really ever. Jack McDowell was there. Wow, I didn't realize that. But no, I don't recognize hardly anybody else. But picture wise, yeah, they had a good team. They really did.
And wasn't Cleveland Thome's longest stint?
Yes, it was.
One of those games in that World Series was 14-11.
Wow.
Yeah, he played 13 years in Cleveland, and his next longest stint was 4 years in Philadelphia.
I know he jumped around quite a bit there the second half of his career, but
yeah.
And he's from Peoria.
He's from Peoria, yep.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Which he goes back to, or at least he used to go back to Peoria pretty regularly. He used to be seen down there quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, all righty. Well, does anybody else have anything to add on old Jim Thome before we move on? By the way, I always used to like how Thome would point his bat at the pitcher until they came set. I always thought that was cool when I was a kid. All right. Well, who has a 4 left?
I do.
Uncle Doug, who is your 4, sir?
Manny Ramirez.
Oh, Manny.
Oh, nice.
All right. I don't have Manny.
No, I don't either.
Well, Manny batted, excuse me, .313, He had 1,086 hits, 236 home runs, 800 RBIs while he was in Cleveland. He had 9 Silver Sluggers. 3 of those came in Cleveland. He won a batting title, but that was with Boston. But while he was in Cleveland, he did lead the league in RBIs a year. He also led the league in slugging percentage twice and OPS twice. Last 2 years he was there, his slugging percentage was .663, and last year it was .697, with an OPS of 1.105 and 1.154.
That's pretty nasty.
And then he was off to Boston, and that's where he won his batting title.
Well, in 1999, he batted .333 with 44 home runs, 165 RBIs,
Damn.
with a .442 on-base percentage, and then the stats that Uncle Doug just named was slug and OPS.
He had 165 RBIs.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he came in third in the MVP voting.
Yeah.
Oh, is that steroid era, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who won the MVP that year.
Well, let's see. He says 99.
Pudge.
So, yeah, I know it was only, I think, 8 years in Cleveland, but I thought that was pretty impressive.
It is. It was pretty impressive.
So,
I think we all had a similar idea. Tomei and Manny were just a little different.
Trying to sneak one of the younger
Yeah.
guys.
yeah.
Two guys that have great Hall of Fame careers with reached iconic milestones, and they started their careers off with the Indians and were on the same era team that made that World Series.
I mean, obviously, I have a little bit of a bias here, but when I think of Manny, I think of the Red Sox. And that's kind of why I left him off. It's because I don't think of, I mean, not that I don't know that he played for the Indians, but when I immediately think of him, I think of the Red Sox. So.
Yeah. Well, he helped break the curse, and
Yeah, he won 2 World Series,
Yeah.
World Series
so
MVP.
it was a
and-
big
yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Him and Poppy were kind of the face of the Red Sox for a while, and yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the most infuriating athletes to root for.
Yeah.
He's such a he's spacey in the field. Like, he doesn't pay attention. He lets balls land that should never land because he's not paying attention. He does like really dumb things in the outfield.
And then he could just rake with a bat.
Oh yeah,
It
and
was
he,
nuts.
like yeah, I mean, he was a ridiculously good hitter, but he would also do things that would infuriate you. Like, he would strike out on purpose to set a pitcher up for the next at bat.
Okay.
He would talk about it in interviews, like how he struck out on purpose in the first at bat, so the pitcher would think he couldn't hit that pitch, so that he would get it again in the next at bat, so he could hit it.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of genius, and in a way, it's kind of not.
Yeah.
I mean,
The fact
Depends
that
on the situation.
the fact that he could pull that off is amazing.
right, yeah.
But that proves how naturally talented he was. But the logic behind it might be a little flawed. But
yeah, he's weird.
Wasn't the famous phrase back in the day, Manny being Manny?
Manny being Manny, yep.
sounds like Manny was definitely being Manny.
Yeah.
Like the time where he fell down on top of the ball, but didn't realize he'd fallen on top of the ball. So he's laying on the ball, expecting the other outfielder to grab it and throw it in. He's just laying there in the middle of the outfield, but he's on top of the ball, so the other outfielder can't get it. Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Me and Johnny Damon at that time would have just been infuriated. You just like, what are you doing? Do I have to play against this guy or with this guy again tomorrow?
Didn't he pause the Red Sox game to go pee
Yes.
inside the Monster?
Yes, he just walked off the field, and because you can open a door and go inside the Monster from the field.
Yeah.
He just went inside there because he had to use the bathroom during the game.
So they stopped.
Yeah, they did end up stopping the game, but like I don't remember. Maybe it was Francona had to like throw a fit. Like, our outfielder's gone. Like, nobody knew where he went, and then he just like traipses back out of the Monster, and you're like, and like everybody's like, what are you doing?
Manny being Manny.
Yep.
Yep.
Or like in the 04, it ended up working out for us, but in the 04 playoffs when we were down 3-0, like they asked him like, oh, what's it like being down 3-0 to the Yankees, and he's like, oh, I don't care. I get paid to play baseball. I don't get, like whether we win or lose, I get paid. Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you end up winning the series at the same time.
Right. Yeah, and he was a big part of that.
Yeah, he dominated in the playoffs.
yeah, like
Him and Poppy just destroyed people.
but like But that's not what you want to hear as a fan. You don't want to hear guys like,
He
I
was
don't
being
care.
honest though. He was just like, bro, I get to go home to $100 million every day. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, but I'll hit while I'm here. That's just how he was.
Not playing in the outfield? I don't know.
Yeah.
If I have to, I guess. I'll go out there anyway.
I might disappear if I have to pee.
Wasn't he kind of slimmer and more athletic with the Cleveland?
I don't know. Maybe.
He had I think he had shorter hair, and I think he looked kind of different.
He did have shorter hair. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought he was kind of skinny there for a little bit, and he was kind of a little more athletic, and then he kind of just quit caring and just, I don't know. He's just a goofy guy. I loved him.
Drew, did you said he likes to disappear? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he just disappears sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
go to
kind
the
of like
bathroom.
LeBron against Dallas.
There it is.
All right. Well, does anybody have a 4 left?
No.
I do.
Okay.
Napoli Ole is my 4.
Oh,
He's my 2.
He's my 3.
so he's my 3.
How do you spell that?
Lajoie.
Just call him Nap.
I had to watch a video to see if I was pronouncing it right, and I still wasn't sure.
Yeah, if I'd have had to say it, I'd have just said Nap. I wasn't sure how to
Yeah.
pronounce the last name either.
I was hoping I wasn't going to say my 3.
And that's 4 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
4 of us. He also played 13 years in Cleveland, and then his next longest stop is Philly, just like Tomei. Look at that.
Nice. Okay.
It's crazy.
I love this time period, though. What a great time to play baseball.
Yeah, he played from 1896 to 1916. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I mean,
while he was in Cleveland, he did lead the league in hits 3 times and doubles 3 times and RBIs once. And he won the 3 batting titles while in Cleveland.
I think he has 5 total.
Yeah, he does.
dude, I love it. The 1 year he led the league in home runs. Guess how many he hit, Ray?
How many?
14.
Yeah.
He was a baller back then.
That was in 1901.
Yep. And
He won the Triple Crown that year.
Hey.
He batted 426.
well, that's
Whoa, now
impressive.
that's impressive.
Probably throwing in
The
the
RBIs.
125.
Okay.
the old guys. Seeing the home run numbers and then the RBI numbers, you're just like, what in the world? Because nowadays you're used to someone having 1,800 RBIs with 600 home runs.
Yeah.
Some of these guys have 78 home runs, 1,700 RBIs.
Yeah,
and
and
it's just
what
what
the-
in the world?
With 14 home runs, he had a slugging percentage of 643 and an OPS of 1106.
Damn.
That's it.
Now, he did hit 48 doubles and 14 triples.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think he only had 30-some home runs the whole time he was with Cleveland. So if he had 14 in the one season, he didn't hit too many of the rest.
Well, that wasn't with the Triple Crown season was in Philly.
Oh, okay.
One of the cool stats I saw on him, they at one point they named the team after him. They were
Yeah,
called the
they did.
Naps.
Yep.
The Naps.
So I feel like if your name, yeah,
They should have named them the Naps instead of the Guardians.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
so they were named after him for a while. So I feel like he should probably be on the team's Mount Rushmore.
So what did the logo look like for the naps?
I guess him. I don't know.
Yeah, a pillowcase.
Yeah,
probably he was the mascot. He showed up the games.
that's right. Save some money.
By the way, again, this wasn't with Cleveland, but it's just so impressive. In one season, he led Major League Baseball in runs, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS all in the same season.
Wow.
When he retired,
Total bases too.
Yeah, total bases. Yeah.
when he retired, he had the second most hits ever. Only Honest Wagner had more hits than him. He had was it a little over 3,000?
32-43,
Yeah.
which is, a lot of hits.
Yeah. So, I mean, and a lot of stuff I looked at when I was trying to refresh my memory on some Cleveland Indians players, lots of stuff had him at number 1. Lots of stuff that I saw anyway. So,
Oh, we should have got Jimmy's list.
I just feel like
We probably should have.
yeah.
I just thought about that.
Mm. Well, we're talking about hits, so I'm going to do a little bit of a timeout here and bring something up. So I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but Pete Rose is banned from baseball. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Indeed.
I'm being sarcastic because we talked about it in an episode.
Who's banned from who's banned from baseball?
Pete Rose.
Oh yeah.
And he's banned from baseball for betting on games. Well, it just came out today that they may have just caught Shohei Ohtani doing it.
Oh, no, I thought that was his interpreter.
Yes, but this has become more and more interesting the longer the day's gone on.
Oh, really?
Yes, his interpreter tried to take the fall for it and say it was him.
The Dodgers are going to lose.
I called it. I said it would crumble, and I said it would start with some crazy.
They haven't proven that it's him yet, but they've proven that he paid $4.5 million to DraftKings and bets. Like, it came out of Shohei Ohtani's account. They've proven that, but they haven't, because the interpreter tried to take the fall for it and said it was my debt and Shohei just paid it off. But then now Ohtani has now come out and said that his interpreter is a liar.
Oh boy.
So now I don't know what's gonna. Now we don't know what's gonna happen.
The Dodgers are never gonna win.
What was he betting on? Was he betting on baseball?
I don't know if they've released what exactly.
But Pete Rose bet on baseball. Like, he bet on his games.
I don't
Not
think
to lose though.
Not to lose, but still.
Well, that's a big deal. That means he wasn't throwing games
No, yeah. But what if
intentionally.
what if Shohei was just betting on something else? Not
I mean, I
baseball?
bet he is. I don't think he was like intentionally trying to lose or anything.
I mean, the Angels side.
But even if he's not intentionally losing, if he's betting on his own games, this is huge.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
No,
but
yeah.
because that's what everybody says
Pete's
about. Yeah,
out, then Shohei will have to go. Dodgers will save a lot of money.
Here's the thing: Shohei will either have to be banned from baseball, or they have to let Pete Rose in.
Right.
Oh no.
let Pete.
Is the easier move to just let Rose in?
Yes.
Yep. At this point, yeah.
All the stuff the Dodgers have been doing, can't you see a bunch of the owners saying, out?
Yeah. This would be the ultimate karma.
Shipping back to Japan.
It's crazy.
So again, I'm not saying that anything's definite in the situation, but it is very, very interesting.
It is.
Oh, what a shitty situation for baseball.
Yeah. No, I hadn't heard that part of the story.
The
I
old
just heard
Dodgers strike again.
They're back.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming, did you, boys?
Yeah.
All right, back to old Napoli Ole. Anybody else have anything to add on him before we move on?
No.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, nobody has a 4 left. So, Drew, do you have a 3?
No. Nap was my 3.
Oh, okay. Wade, you got a 3?
Nap was my 3.
Uncle Doug, you got a 3?
I do.
Who you got?
Tris Speaker.
He's my number 2.
He's my number 2.
He's my number 2.
Oh, so we just flip-flopped.
No, Ray? Ray?
No, Ray still doesn't have. Oh, boy.
I thought we were laughing what was on the TV screen. 55.
Oh, yeah. No.
She's like,
Yeah.
no way. She's like, no way. I gotta go back up and down the court.
The tank is loose.
Dude, look, she's so mad. She's gotta go back the other way.
Oh,
They're doing her.
we're
dirty.
mean.
Oh, my.
Good thing people can't see what we're watching.
Yeah.
Uncle Doug, you want to tell us something about Tris Speaker?
Sure. Hall of Fame, batting title. He does have an MVP, but that was with Boston. 3 World Series. Again, I think some of those are with Boston, but I'm not sure. 354 batting average, 1965 hits, 73 homers, and 886 RBIs.
He's also the all-time leader in doubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read he has the 3rd highest career batting average in baseball history.
345. Off the top of my head, I can only think of one person higher, which is Ty Cobb. I don't know who else.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
The article didn't list who was ahead of him.
I think Ty Cobb's like 368, I think.
Trying to think.
I'm sure it's some old guy.
Probably.
That's how these things work.
Well,
Honest Wagner, maybe.
could be. Mentioning old guys, while I was looking Cleveland up, Shoeless Joe Jackson, the one that's suspended for the Black Sox scandal, also played for the Indians.
Oh, did he? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, years ago. And for the Indians, he batted .375.
Ooh.
With 937 hits, 24 home runs, and 350 RBIs. But yeah, 375.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I also saw something where Satchel Paige had a stop in Cleveland as well, but it was very brief. But yeah, I just thought with Tris Speaker, like the fact that like people like him and Ty Cobb and stuff, like they played over 100 years ago, and if you're a baseball fan, like you know who they are. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
For you to be so great, your name carry over 100 years to where where a good common baseball fan knows who you are. That's pretty amazing.
And we've talked about Tris Speaker multiple times on this podcast.
Yeah,
I mean,
Buddy put him on
up,
something.
yeah, Buddy had it. I think Buddy had him on his outfield list and
top
greatest outfielders.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've brought him up.
Absolutely. Another guy that split his time between Boston and Cleveland. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything to add on old Tris Speaker before we move on? All right. Well, anybody have a 3 left?
I do.
Who's your 3, sir?
Bob Feller.
He's my 1.
He's my one.
He's my
yeah.
All
one.
right. At least I got
Bob's in.
somebody on the list.
He was the one I said off air earlier that I thought was
He-
you couldn't take off your list.
yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Right. Triple Crown, 8-time All-Star, 1948 World Series, ERA title, Major League Player of the Year, with a 3.25 career ERA, 266 victories. And you guys go ahead.
Well, I mean, I think we've talked about this in other episodes too, but at least for a long while, he was considered to be the hardest thrower in baseball history.
Yeah.
He was the first person to ever reach triple digits, wasn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Almost 2,600 strikeouts. 3 no-hitters.
3 of his prime years he didn't play.
Yeah, he went to the war.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
he was
war.
in World War II.
I mean, he went 24, 27, 25, went to war. Then he came back. He only played, He only won 5 games the next year, but I don't think he probably played them all. And then he went 26, 20, 19. I mean,
So he missed out on like 75 wins and probably an ERA of a really low ERA that would have brought his career
yeah, I
ERA
mean, he
down.
went 2.85, 3.61, 3.1, 2.5, 2.1, 2.6. I mean, probably
like-
3 more years like 2.5.
Yeah, so he would probably have like 70 more wins and brought his career ERA down probably a couple
Which would
points.
have put him well over 300 wins.
And he probably would have easily crossed the 3,000 strikeout mark too.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty much
Yeah.
him going to war robbed him of all the milestones,
Yeah.
really. Or else he would have, he's still considered an all-time great pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has to be number 1 because when you combine being all-time great ability and being associated with the franchise, like he's number 1. When you think of the Indians, I think a lot of people will think of Bob Feller.
Yeah,
when you
I
think of the
agree.
all-time great Indians, and he is an all-time great, so it's not bad to have him at 1.
Mhm.
You know,
And he played his whole career there. He didn't play anywhere else.
yeah.
18 years in Cleveland.
Certain players for certain franchises, like that's who you associate with, like they're, yeah. And he's the person I think of with the Indians.
Yeah, I would agree. And a lot of older people I know that are baseball fans just love Bob Feller.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, it does appear that he was a little wild though. He had a lot of walks.
I'm sure if he's throwing that hard, he's.
I mean, probably. I mean, guys like him and Nolan Ryan, it usually takes them a while to.
Yeah, his third year in the league, he had 208 walks.
Wow. That is pretty crazy.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 208 walks and 240 strikeouts.
That's like Jameis Winston's 30 touchdown, 30 interceptions.
He had 30 your way.
With like 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
That's nuts. You just don't know what to say about it.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to add on Bob Feller?
I don't think so.
He had a bunch of really high MVP finishes, but he never got one.
Well, didn't he help them win their last World Series?
He won one in 48, so
I think it's their last World Series.
Probably.
I think it has to be. Yeah. In that year, in the regular season, he won 19 games with a 3.5 ERA. Had 164 strikeouts, which led the majors.
164 led the majors?
Yeah.
There's been something weird going on that year.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, because he leads the league a bunch of times, but never with that low of a number. 240, 246, 261, 260, 348. Then you have a 164 in there.
Weird.
348.
That's an insane number.
That's almost 200 more than that one season, but still, almost 350.
Well, did Feller have the record that Nolan Ryan broke?
Oh, maybe.
His strikeouts are only 2,500, so no.
No, for strikeouts in a season.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
And I do believe Nolan Ryan, Bob Feller did have the record for strikeouts in a game, which Nolan Ryan did break. And then now I think it's been tied numerous times. But
the 21 got tied a whole bunch of times. Clemens did it. Kerry Wood did it. But now it's 20. Somebody got 21.
Oh, maybe it has been passed, but
I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Yeah.
because I was just thinking 343 or whatever it was. That's a huge number.
Yeah, 348. It's a big one.
A lot.
But I don't know.
All right. Well, anybody else have anything to add on Bob Feller before we move on? All right. Well, everybody's 4s and 3s are done, correct?
Yep. I'm out. I'm just done.
I'm done too.
Oh, I'm done as well.
I'm also done.
Right.
Ray. Now you got 2 left, don't you?
Yeah. Goddamn.
Show us what you got, Ray.
Well, the next one, a player I actually have heard of, Kenny Lofton.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought about
That's
like
that
Kenny
same
Lofton.
team we
I
talked
like
about
Kenny.
earlier.
yeah, those 90s teams.
Hey, by the way, Kenny Lofton Jr. that plays in the NBA, is that his son?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Was it on relatives if he has a kid or not?
You know what? I never.
I don't know, because I know like on the basketball, the football one, it tells you like their relatives.
I don't see one. Yeah, I don't see one on his page.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just.
It's very possible, Drew. Very possible.
Oh, no, it says Kenny Lofton Sr. served in the U.S. Army and attended Lamar University.
Oh.
So, no, it's a different Kenny Lofton. Anyway, sorry, Ray.
No, you're all right. 6-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove. He played center field mostly. 299 batting average with 130 home runs. Known for defense and I think speed on the bases. Big
Yeah.
base stealer.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was just a great leadoff man. He was one of the best leadoff men of the 90s.
Yeah, he was, definitely. By the way, I just noticed this. He played 10 years in Cleveland, okay? And then he played for 8 other franchises, but never more than 1 year.
Huh.
So he played 10 straight years in Cleveland and then went 1 year at a time to 8 other franchises.
Name the other franchises. I'm trying to remember who. if I remember.
Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Texas, Dodgers, Cubs, Yankees, Houston, Chicago White Sox. So I guess 10 other franchises, but just over 8 other years he played for 10 franchises.
That's kind of bizarre.
There's some guys that are like that.
And it's crazy because he was a really good player.
He was.
Like I mean, Ray
He was the
said
best
he's
leadoff hitter in the game for at least a few
Yeah.
years.
like 4-time Gold Glove, 6-time All-Star, stole a bunch of bases.
He led the league in steals 5 times.
Yeah, I bet he had over 2,000 hits, didn't he, for his career?
2,400.
2,400. I mean, that's pretty nice.
That's what you want from a leadoff guy.
I mean, that's like I bet he has similar stats to like Tim Raines. I bet they're not too. Tim Raines might have a little more pop in his bat, maybe a little bit, but I bet they're close.
I mean, he came in 4th in the MVP voting one year.
Hmm.
In 1994. I don't know who won the MVP that year.
He was definitely good.
Oh, Frank Thomas.
Mr. Eugenics.
Oh, she'll like it too, right?
Yeah, she will.
But Kenny Lofton had a hell of a year that year. He batted .349 with 12 home runs, 57 RBI, 60 steals, with a .412 on base, .536 slug, an OPS of .948.
He scored a bunch of runs.
105.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty badass, really.
Playing, Gold Glove center field. He led the majors in WAR that year.
Isn't it crazy? Players like him don't really exist much anymore.
No, not at all.
It's just sad because they used to be huge parts of a lot of these great teams, and they were very beneficial to have. They made it very easy to score runs, and now people somehow have found a way to move them out of the game.
I tell you what, I mean, I know this is a little different, but it shows my point though. Like, I play MLB The Show, okay, and when my leadoff hitter hits a single, the first thing I do is steal second base, and now I can't hit into a double play, and a single into the outfield scores.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's your fastest player.
Yeah, it's your fastest player. Like, yeah,
like you can't sit here and tell me Ricky Henderson would not be beneficial to be on your team.
right.
Every time he gets on base, the shithead's getting to third. It don't matter how the fuck he gets there; he's getting there. And then all you gotta do is make contact. He's gonna score. Like, I know it's an extreme because he's like the greatest leadoff hitter ever, but you get the point.
But you can't tell me Kenny Lofton wouldn't benefit your team.
You remember Scott Pasednik?
Yeah.
He was beneficial.
Juan Pierre.
Yeah.
Well, Vince Coleman that played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's very
Used
good.
to steal 100 bases, run the outfield.
Hey, like him and Tim Raines and Ricky Henderson were all like badasses on the base
Even if you
paths.
take stolen bases out of it, you're telling me guys like Wade Boggs, Tony Gwynn, Don Mattingly, George Brett, guys that hit 350 every year, that's not beneficial to your team?
Right.
Yeah.
Get 200 hits a season?
You're constantly getting someone on base. You're constantly moving base runners. Like,
yes.
That's what leads to runs, not just home runs and walks.
Yeah.
Like, I know we've had this conversation a million times, but some of these players are kind of getting overshadowed and forgotten because of the way people view baseball now, and it's kind of just silly.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we dish out Ray's last guy?
Yeah, probably so.
Omar
Vizquel.
Vizquel.
There you go.
That's the last one.
Well, Omar Vizquel is a beast.
He was a monster.
I don't want to knock Omar Vizquel at all. I mean, I guess he did play 11 years in Cleveland. That's longer than I thought. But he was part of, what some people consider the greatest defensive shortstop second base duo ever. With him and Alomar. Roberto, sorry. I kept wanting to say Sandy, but that's the catcher.
Right.
Oh. You're talking about a guy that won 11 Gold Gloves at shortstop. I mean, that's stupid impressive. I mean, I don't know how many Ozzy has, Uncle Doug, but I mean, he's got to be relatively close to Ozzy.
I would think so.
I mean, what's Ozzy got? Probably right like 15, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Probably
now.
14, 15, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about 11-time Gold Glover at shortstop, like that or center field's like the most premium defensive position.
Yeah. Aren't those two the ones that get WAR? Most WAR?
Yeah.
Probably
Center
the
field and short.
catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but catcher WAR is so screwy though.
WAR's just screwy.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Is it
No,
because they
but-
have something to do with the pitching staff?
Yeah, because they try and judge framing and all that stuff, and it's like whatever.
boy.
No, but you're also talking about a guy that played Gold Glove
shortstop, but he has 2,800 hits. Like, he almost got to 3,000. It's almost 2,900.
Yeah.
Like, he's close. Now, part of that's because he played forever. He played 24 seasons. But
Wow.
This wouldn't go away.
no, he would not. But he did lead the league in sacrifice hits 4 times.
Don't like those sacrifices.
Who was that last time that we were? Well, somebody was the all-time leader in sacrifice hits. We were talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about that guy, but Drew, he's the all-time leader in sacrifice. I do not. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, your picks weren't too bad, Ray. They're
No,
pretty
yeah,
good
they're
ones,
both
actually.
good players. Yeah,
Okay.
It's just-
I thought about Laughlin. I really like Laughlin when me and Alex were growing up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys for 4 spots, but we got 1 guy in. Bob Feller's unanimous.
Yeah.
So we got 6 guys for 3 spots. So old Bob Feller is in at the top of our Mount Rushmore.
Me and
So-
Bruce have got the same list.
Yeah, then Tomei, Leole, and Speaker.
he might too.
Yeah, I have the same.
Okay, so
votes, yeah.
3 of us.
Three of us had the
All
same
have
thing.
4 votes, and then Manny, Lofton, and Omar have 1 apiece.
Nice guys.
Well, I will say that I was thinking with Manny the same thing you guys were thinking with Tomei. I just went the different way. So I'll switch my Manny to Tomei, and then that'll take care of one of them.
Right.
All right. Well, Manny is out, and Tomei is in.
You have no trade capital with nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Bears 3 years ago. Yeah, but I'll go ahead and concede. That's fine.
All right. Well, that was
Right on, boys.
very simple. Very simple. By the way, speaking of the Bears, how in the hell did you all trade Justin Fields for a 6th-round pick?
Could be a 4.
You guys are stacking up.
Do we play the Steelers because we were gonna go after Wilson so we can get a pick? I don't know.
That Jeremiah guy's newest mock draft has you all getting the number 2 receiver in the draft too, so you'll have more Keenan Allen and that
That's
Adunze
what,
guy.
that's what I've been hearing. Yeah, they're just gonna load up the offense.
And you'll have Komet and with Swift, and now your brand new quarterback. That
Yeah,
you sure up that
offense
offensive
would be
line, you guys
sweet.
could be nasty.
Yeah. Well, just so the listeners are aware, there are 4 Mount Rushmore members are Jim Tomei, Nap Leole, Tris Speaker, and Bob Feller. So not a lot of youth there, but
Zero
we
use.
have 3 Hall of Famers and a guy that probably would be if it wasn't for he played in the steroid era.
I thought Tomei got in.
Did
Yeah,
Tomei
I
get
think
in?
Tomei got in.
Oh,
yeah.
Tomei got in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have
Yeah.
4 Hall of Famers then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, he's over 600 home runs. He's getting in.
Well, I know, but so does Sosa, and he didn't get in.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because if you're talking about steroids, I guess it doesn't really matter. You're
Yeah.
right.
I mean, Bonds has over 700.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't associating Tomei with steroids, but
So, Ray, I have a question for you, buddy.
Yep, go ahead.
I noticed you put the Ass Man license plate behind Wade's head, but nobody on the podcast can see that. But on our other podcast, Blockbuster Bumps, did you put it behind Barry on purpose?
No, I had it on the popcorn machine at one point, and then I just ended up moving it around.
Well, I think you should leave it there for Barry because that'll be great.
Yep. Okay.
That's where Barry sits in your seat. Right?
no, that's fine.
Patrick Berry, the ass man.
All out for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I sit in my same seat. Ray sits in his same seat. Tom sits here. Barry sits there, and Justin sits there. So. Anyway, that will wrap up our Cleveland Indians portion of this episode and move us into our MVP chat. And the year to discuss in this episode will be, Drew,
2012,
the 2012 MVP. We will start with the American League,
as
Which-
always.
which was alphabetical order. Which was Miguel Cabrera, known as Miggy to a lot of us here in this room, who won the Triple Crown this year. But he got his butt whooped in WAR by Mike Trout, who came in second, and by 4 other players that year. He beat him out in WAR. But just so everybody's aware, Miguel Cabrera had 109 runs,
205 hits, 44 home runs, 139 RBI, 4 stolen bases, 66 walks. He batted .330 with a .393 on base, .606 slug, and a .999 OPS. So a very good year. Like I mentioned, Triple Crown. He also led the league in slugging and OPS. He had over 200 hits, but he did not lead the league in hits because Derek Jeter did that with 216.
Jeter.
Not
Jeter, who came in 7th in the MVP voting this year, led the league in hits. Mike Trout came in 2nd place playing center field. I'm not sure if he made a Gold Glove. If somebody wants to look that up, 2012 Mike Trout.
I'm sure he did.
But he had 129 runs, which led the league.
He did not win a Gold Glove.
Oh, he did not. There you go. 182 hits, so about 23 less than Miggy. He had 14 less home runs at 30. He had almost 40 less, like 37 less RBIs. Oh wait, that's not right either. 140 to 83.
He has like 60 less RBIs.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
almost 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike Trout's page got to be wrong because this says he has 0 Gold Gloves.
He's never won a Gold Glove.
Wow. I mean, I can click on him.
I mean, that's what it says on my baseball reference page. It says he has 0 Gold Gloves.
I thought he won a
Yeah,
handful.
there's no Gold Glove listed on here. It says he's won 9 Silver Sluggers, but doesn't have and 3 MVPs with no Gold Gloves.
Wow.
He's
I
really
didn't know
surprising.
that.
I honestly assumed he
But
had
he
like
won
4 or 5.
but one year he won the Wilson Defensive Player of the Year. What the hell is that?
Don't know.
There's no way he has.
I mean, his WAR so high is because of his defense and base running, isn't it? To go
Yeah,
along
but
with
they
his
give
great
you
hitting.
they give you free points and more just to play center field.
But you can't be a terrible defender out there.
Oh,
though.
but
I
he's
mean,
not.
like-
He's clearly not a terrible
Oh
defender.
yeah.
I need the
So
Gold.
how many points they give you just for playing center?
I think you get
So
like,
is it just 3 outfielders? The 3 best outfielders get it?
is it just the 3 best outfielders?
The
Or do
way,
they-
the way it's listed on here, it just says outfield, outfield, outfield. Who would be the center fielders on that list so I can read it off?
Which? Oh, there's 2010 right there. Carl Crawford played left. Ichiro played right. And Gutierrez. I don't know where Gutierrez played. But the year before that, Markakis and Gordon both played in the corners. Ellsbury's a center fielder.
I'd just be the 3 best outfielders. Look like I don't know because it doesn't specify.
Well, Alex Gordon wins the Gold Glove every year. He's on here every year. Anyway, Trout plays a quality center field.
That's crazy.
I can't get my computer to work.
Mike Trout has 0 Gold Gloves. Who would have thunk it?
Apparently none of us.
Yeah, I think
It's just
he
top
did-
3.
he did lead the league that year in stolen bases with 49. He hit 326 with a 399 on base, 564 slug for a 360 or 963 OPS. So does anybody think Mike Trout should have taken that MVP from Miggy?
No.
I don't.
No.
Miguel Cabrera was the best player in baseball for
Yes.
a while, and this was probably his
This is
greatest
one of those
year.
years, yeah.
And
It was a great year for Trout, but
Yeah.
Miggy was
Yeah.
better.
No, I 100% agree. And I don't care what anybody says or analytics say. The Triple Crown means something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, it doesn't happen at all. Like, he's
Yeah.
the first one to do it in how many? Like 40
It's
years?
the last player since Yaz.
So
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
60s, 70s?
Yeah, I think 70.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
So that's the
like
last time
that.
anyone's done it. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, Carrera got 92% of the first place votes.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, I don't want to give away too much before we talk about the Tigers, but
Yeah, I don't want to talk about I don't want to give away Tiger stuff, but
I just don't want to go too in depth into Miguel Cabrera, I guess. But
but
I'll take that.
somebody else that had a higher WAR than Miggy that season was Adrian Beltre, who is a Gold Glove third baseman a bunch of times over. He hit 321 with 36 home runs, 102 RBIs. He scored 95 runs at 194 hits, a 359 on base, 561 slug for a 921 OPS. Again, I don't think that's really on Miggy's level, but that was a really nice
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
You throw in the great defense with those numbers. That's pretty amazing.
Indeed. I forgot about old Josh Hamilton. Josh Hamilton hit 43 home runs this year.
Dude, Josh Hamilton's probably coming off his 2 MVPs. He gets at least one.
He had like a
right
4
there.
or 5 year run that was nasty.
Dude,
He
Josh
did.
Hamilton was a beast.
Yes, he was.
He was a big reason why they went to those World Series.
Drugs
back-to-back.
derailed his career. Seriously.
Before and after.
I mean, his first full year back after his drug stuff, he hit 304 with 32 home runs and 130 RBIs.
One year he hits, this is MVP year, 32 home runs, 100 RBIs, batted 360.
Ooh.
And his on base was 411, slugging was 630, OPS was 1044.
He was amazing, just
Dude, yeah,
baseball player.
And then he just, like Alex said, drugs.
Well, didn't he relapse a couple times while playing?
Yeah.
And it was like, guy just, had a problem.
Well, we all in agreement Miggy wins it.
Yes. He won the Triple Crown.
Well, let's talk about a pitcher real quick just to make sure we did it right. Justin Verlander also had a higher WAR than Miggy this year.
That's just stupid. He pitched, like 35 games?
And their teammates.
33.
Okay.
Oh, they are also teammates. It's true. He won 17 games, going 17-8 with a 2.64 ERA, so a very good ERA. He pitched 33 games, like I mentioned. He led the league with 238 innings pitched and had 239 strikeouts, 260 walks, not 208.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's nasty numbers, but it's not. If you bat the way that Miggy batted that season, it
contributes every day.
I mean, like, how important was Big Papi to the Red Sox throughout the 2000s? He
Oh.
literally didn't play defense.
Yeah, stupid important.
He's probably the most important Red Sox since what?
Ted Williams.
Yeah. So, like, he literally never played defense. He was the DH. So,
Yeah.
like, when you're that amazing at batting, it's everything. And he was the best player in the league with a bat. It's just all there is to it.
Well, I got one for you. David Price this season came 4 places lower than Justin Verlander in the MVP. But he led the league in wins with 20 and had 3 less losses than Verlander. He led the league in ERA with 2.56. He made 31 starts, so I guess 2 less starts than Verlander, but had 3 more wins. He had 211 innings pitched and 205 strikeouts. I'd say he had a better season than Verlander.
I'd say so. I would say so.
Also, Jim Johnson from Baltimore had 51 saves this season. I'm not saying I would give him the MVP. I'm just saying that's an impressive number.
It is.
Joe Mauer led the league in on-base percentage this year.
Joe Mauer.
He was the man.
I think we talked about what happened last week.
What was that?
That Minnesota.
It was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I knew we did the Twins recently.
So are we unanimous here that Miggy should keep his MVP?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. Good deal. All right. Now move on to the NL, which I don't know if this is the one or not. This is Buster Posey, but one of Buster Posey's MVPs was made a lot of people mad. They didn't think he should have won it. I don't know if this is the year or not. I can't remember what, because he wins 2, doesn't he?
I'm not
He
sure.
might.
I can look.
He might
I
have,
can't
yeah.
look. Sounds right.
He accomplished a lot in a short period of
Oh,
time.
no, he only won 1.
Oh, well, it has to be this one then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Buster Posey won the batting title, batting .336. He also led the National League in WAR. By the way, he led the National League in WAR with just about the same WAR as Miggy, who came in 6th in WAR in the AL.
Yeah.
I'm saying these guys aren't too far behind him. 2 6.9s, 7.2, 6.4.
Yeah.
So he's not killing them.
No. Anyway, he had 78 runs, 178 hits, 24 home runs, 103 RBIs, .336 batting average, a .408 on base percentage, a .549 slug, for a .957 OPS.
Is this the period of time where he's leading them to World Series?
Yes, they win a World Series this year. I'm pretty sure.
So I mean,
They go on to win.
if it's smack dab,
This will
in
be
that,
their second World Series.
So yeah, so it's
And
that-
he gets,
'cause
that
he
factors
gets,
in.
Him and the Cardinals are
94% of the first place votes.
Yeah.
yeah. I think I mean he's commanding the pitching staff. He's playing great defense, and he's batting like that. That is, you do get a little extra credit points for all that as a catcher.
And he's just now busting onto the scene. It's probably his third, fourth year in the league.
Yeah.
It's his 4th year in the league,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
3rd full-time year in the league. He wins a Silver Slugger, makes the All-Star game, and the MVP.
Does he have Gold
Wins
Gloves?
the batting title. He does have, but not this year.
Yachty's probably taking him right now.
You're probably right.
Yeah, he should have taken his other ones too.
Mm-hmm.
That was always a big gripe of mine. Is they gave it to Posey because he hit better than Yachty,
I do play popularity games sometimes.
and that's crap.
They do play popularity with the Gold
The
Gloves.
Gold Glove is supposed to be fielding, not anything to do with your hitting.
Well, I mean, Jeter.
We
has
talk about
5
Jeters
of
all the
them.
time. Yeah. That's not because he's the best shortstop in the American
They also
League.
have bad habits of they have these guys who were phenomenal, great fielders and deserved like 3/4 of their MVPs, but they keep giving them to him
'Cause
after
that's
they
who
fall
are,
off.
Yeah.
Like that happened to Andrew Jones. He was getting Gold Gloves when he was fat and slow, and he could like barely even
But it
run
was
in the
Andrew
outfield.
Jones.
Yeah, because early in his career he was
Yeah.
deserving them.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a dominant center fielder. He was fat as fuck out there, barely moving, getting a Gold Glove, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
So, the second place guy here, who does have a lower WAR by almost a point, is Ryan Braun, a known steroid user at this
Yeah,
point,
with
but at the time we didn't know that.
He was a beast back then.
Douchebag.
He also is a huge douchebag. That's true.
Yep. Doesn't help he's also
He
a
kind of
brewer.
reminds you know what he kind of reminds me of? Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
Wisconsin. It's the same area. It's the same area.
What year did Braun get his? Didn't he get an MVP?
He got an
Yes.
MVP.
Which
Yeah.
year?
I'll look it up. He got his in 2011, the year before.
So the year before
So he
this,
goes
this is
1-2.
this is
Yeah.
the year after his MVP.
Right.
His MVP
Well, he has a good year though.
He does.
He leads the league in runs at a 108. He has 191 hits, which is, more than Buster Posey. He has 41 home runs, which also leads the league.
This season's
Yeah.
better than his MVP season. His MVP season only hits 33 home runs. He has less RBIs, less hits, less runs.
112 RBIs, which is also better than Posey. He also steals 30 bases, so he's 30-30 this year. He hit 319, which is, almost 20 points lower in batting average. 391 on base, 595 slug for a 987 OPS, which leads the league.
What's the game's difference? Because Posey's a catcher, and obviously he's
Posey plays 148 and Braun plays 154.
148's impressive for a catcher.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Braun's numbers are impressive.
Yeah.
They are pretty overall
He's
nice.
better than his ones from the year before.
He beats Posey in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, stolen bases, slugging, and OPS. But we're also talking about a catcher.
Who leads the team to the World
It's
Series?
what Wade says, leading them to their second World Series in 3 years.
Yeah. You get
And,
like,
he's still busted. Like I said, it's his third full season. He's still coming out.
And we talked about this with Mauer a couple weeks ago. You're talking about a catcher that wins the batting title. Like, that never happens.
yeah, and got to 100 RBIs and
Yeah.
The Giants were famous at the beginning of the 2010s.
yeah.
And they won in 2010, they won in 2012, and they won again in 2014. They won 3 of the first 5? 6? What's
Yeah, it
that?
was 10, 12, and 14. Yeah, the even years.
Yeah, they went those first 3 even years, yeah.
I honestly, I kind of lean Posey.
I like Posey.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I kind of lean Posey too, but how much of that is because we don't like Braun and we know that he's going to get caught with steroids this season.
Right.
I just think Posey's.
that's what I was about to say. I don't like Braun. I don't like Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
He's a
Not my
total
favorite either.
douche.
I just think Posey's impact on the team is bigger. due to him being the catcher and how good he is at controlling that pitching staff.
Brown win Gold Gloves.
Like,
no.
I just think his impact to the team is bigger than what Braun's is.
But then look at number 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Who's
well,
number
Andrew
3?
McCutcheon.
Andrew McCutcheon, who I really, really like.
Me
McCutcheon.
too. And he's playing
He won-
center field.
When did he win his MVP?
I'll look at
It's
it.
probably around there.
He wins his
I'll go to the
MVP in
Well, he's right there. with
2013.
So he wins the MVP
him.
next year.
His WAR's 6.9, just like Braun.
Mhm.
157 games, 107 runs to Braun's 108, but he beats Posey by quite a few runs. 194 hits, he leads the league. 31 home runs, again more than Posey. He only had 96 RBIs, so he's 7 RBIs
He
behind.
plays
him.
for the Pirates.
Plus, yeah, I'm saying there's no one
Yeah.
around him in Pittsburgh.
20 stolen bases, 70 walks, 327 batting average, 400 on base percentage, 553 slug for a 953 OPS.
He was a really good fielder too, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, McCutcheon was a good center fielder.
2012, he won a Gold Glove.
All 3 of them.
He wins the Gold Glove that year.
He won the Gold Glove that year. See, I'm leaning toward McCutcheon.
All 3 of them just have a lot of overall impact. It's kind of hard.
It's his only
Plus, I
Gold
like
Glove.
McCutcheon a lot better than I like Braun.
Yeah. McCutcheon was cool.
But Pittsburgh finished last in their division.
Right, yeah. That's the thing that killed him.
Okay.
I mean, it's impressive that he got to 3rd with them being last.
Yeah.
But
I mean, his numbers are nice.
Let me see. I'm looking at. Milwaukee finished 3rd in their division,
what does that mean?
and he missed the playoffs. So that also would.
I mean, Pirates didn't finish last. There's 5 teams in the NL Central. Is there? Yeah, there's 5 teams. Yeah,
No,
the
they came in 4th.
4th and
Yeah,
5.
you're right,
Yeah. So that means dude.
They had a losing record and came in 4th.
No, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They still have a losing record. They're not.
Well, you know who's 4th? Yachty.
Yachty, yeah.
Oh boy.
He has 65 runs, 159 hits, 22 home runs, 76 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. I
Hey,
saw
what,
that.
what got into him?
He hit 315. I didn't know he ever did that. 315, 373, 501 with an 874 on OPS. I mean,
It was really a pretty nice offensive year for him.
And he won a Gold Glove.
Well,
It's in the
I
middle.
think we figured that one.
It's in the middle of his streak right now.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is this like smack dab when he's like Superman behind the plate?
Yeah, this is prime.
Yeah.
I mean, the next year he finishes 3rd in MVP voting. Yeah, next year he bats 319. Yeah.
well, I think I'm going to stick with Posey, but I do want to get a couple pitchers in here to see what everybody thinks. R.A. Dickey for the Mets.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Won 20 games. Did not lead the league because Gio Gonzalez won 21. Won 20 games with a 2.73 ERA, 33 starts, with 233 innings pitched, and 230 strikeouts, which led the league. I mean, pretty good season.
Yeah, it was nice.
He also batted 153 with 11 hits on the season.
Badass.
Clayton Kershaw went 14-9 with a 2.53 ERA, which led the league in 33 starts with 229 strikeouts. One less strikeout. Kershaw had himself a nice season. Gio Gonzalez led the league with 21 wins with a 2.89 ERA and 32 starts and 207 strikeouts. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Posey, gentlemen.
I'm probably gonna lean towards Posey.
I don't know.
It's pretty close, but because they won the World Series, and I see why they got it.
Yeah, the Giants won 94 games this season.
I kind of like McCutcheon, but there's such a disparity in winning that probably give it to Posey.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ray, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, we'll just go with Posey.
There you go.
All right. Well, is this the first time we've stuck with both winners?
Probably, I think so.
I'm not sure. I missed.
I think so.
All right. Well, thanks
Cool.
for your opinion, Wade. Jeez.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up our MVP portion. We're going to let Miggy and Posey keep their MVPs and move on about our day. We appreciate you tuning in for this Indians/Guardians episode. And we would appreciate you tuning in next week for our Tigers episode, the last team in our AL Central. I know it's been a doozy.
It's the NFC South.
Yeah. And thanks for tuning in to Sports the NEMO Way.